Ladies and gentlemen, come on in. We're about to start. Someone tonight is walking out with some fabulous prizes. Look, they're shining. If you've never seen, this is our third prize from the fabulous folks at Roberts & Roberts Silver. The only people I buy my silver from. 20 ounces of silver, Year of the Dragon. Pretty cool bars. They're so heavy, I could barely lift them. Then this. So the second prize is from our friends at Bitcoin Store. $1,000 in Bitcoins. And if you have not visited Bitcoin Store, it's awesome. It's a way to actually turn your Bitcoins into just about any electronic you can think of. And it's comparable to Amazon in prices, and there's a 0% markup. It's excellent company. Please go buy anything you can think of there. They have lots of things. I also have the gold round, again from our friends at Roberts & Roberts. If you don't know anything about this piece, this is one of the very last Liberty dollars made of gold. There's only a few of these around in the first place, and this is right before Bernard got raided, so it was one of the last to go out of that year. In fact, this coin is so illegal, the FBI had it pulled off eBay and just about every coin store around. Obviously it's a round of gold, but the numismatic value has got to be through the roof on this coin. A lot of people want this. Someone's walking out of here with it. Let's get excited. Get yourselves a drink. And we are going to start our pitches. You ladies and gentlemen ready to start this show? Yeah. Yeah, we excited? Let me explain the rules. How many of y'all familiar with the 70s show, The Gong Show? Remember The Gong Show? Remember Gilbert Gottfried was on there, right? Anyway, we have some contestants who will be competing for prizes. They are allowed to go as long as 5 minutes with their pitch, but every minute that passes, they get the scrutiny of the judges. The longer you go, the more you push your luck. If you're boring and you're not entertaining up here, or the idea is not any good, you will get tased off this. So Angel Clark, if they hit the taser, you will be eliminated. You will get a warning. Watch the judges. They'll be waving the taser at you, and if it's too late, you'll get tased, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our fabulous judges. Everybody here? We're paying attention now? All right. Our fabulous judges. Angel Clark runs the Angel Clark Show. Agorist. Got some fans out there. You'll also know her from her articles on the Examiner. She promotes Agorist businesses as well. She has some of her own on the side. Megan Lords, raise your hand. She's got quite the fan base. She works for Roberts & Roberts. Roberts & Roberts are supplying two of the prizes tonight, the gold prizes. Tim Fry was supposed to be here. Some of you guys remember him from last year, and he was going to judge, but personal emergency came up, so we sent Megan, who works for him, to do the judge. Since it's their money they're giving away, they get a judge. So Megan's going to be judging. And of course, we have Ernest Hancock at the end. How many of you guys know Ernie? Ernest Hancock from Freedom Phoenix, and also as well Declare Your Independence. If you listen to LRN every morning, you'll hear his voice that's amplified by lots and lots of caffeine or something. I don't know what you do every morning, but he is ready. So ladies and gentlemen, why don't the judges test their mics before we begin? Go ahead and turn them on. Say hi to the crowd. Just say a little bit about yourself. And we'll start the first
Hello?
pitch.
Hi. Yeah.
Is this working? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Our first contestant is Tyler. He's going to be talking to us about the Agora Mall. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And your time starts now.
Thank you. My name is Tyler Crossan, and if you're not familiar with me, which you probably aren't, I'm an entrepreneur. I've built a couple of different businesses. I'm in the social marketing, social advertising space, and also merchant services. So I have experience with payment processing. So my idea is called agoramall.com, and It's a multifaceted approach to the idea of expanding the Agorist movement. The idea is basically to create a virtual mall that would allow for various Agorist businesses to sign up and become a storefront in that mall, the virtual mall. So it would essentially take the existing Agorist business. I'm sure there's some of you out there. I've seen some successful examples like Stateless Sweets that does a pretty good job of agorism. But it would allow you to have a storefront with targeted social marketing traffic that would, essentially open you up to a whole new area instead of just doing local or just doing it on your own. And somebody who has that experience, myself, and I can get a programmer for the back end, so it's a really kind of interesting idea that I can work on myself. And actually, after thinking about it for a while, I was like, this is something I actually want to do. So if any of you are programmers and you want to talk to me afterwards, let me know. The Agora Mall would also open up the ability to connect to all of the people out there that are consumers at the moment that want to do business with an Agorist business, but maybe they don't have one in their area, or maybe they don't know where to go for certain things. The Agora Mall would allow them to, connect with someone anywhere from chiropractors all the way up to, retail handmade soaps. And I would set up the basically entity that would be dealing with all the various headaches that you can imagine that come with trying to do an e-commerce business like that. So I know ways to work around the government. I know we're all trying to be against the government. That's something that I have experience with in the merchant service industry. I've written over 1,000 merchant accounts. So that helps me give you the ability to get around all of that frustration. And you'd be able to accept anything from cash to Bitcoin to checks and credit and debit cards, everything. So it would essentially be like a one-stop shop. So that's my idea.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, at Agora Mall. All right, Angel Clark, what'd you think?
Well, I give that a 2 because we already have Facebook, we already have eBay, we already have Amazon, we already have the Silk Road. It's all already there.
Scale to 5. Ladies and gentlemen, the best score is a 5.
All right, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Angel on this. There's also Agorist Marketplace that kind of has a similar setup. And while I think it's good that, we are getting Agorist ideas out there, and maybe, some competition would be good, I wouldn't say that the idea is necessarily original. So I'm going to have to go with a 2. But, I still think it's...
Since Alma Summer did Agorist Marketplace, and she works for me,
I don't want to do some homework.
I'm going to have to go at least with a 3 because it's a freaking good idea. The thing is that I tell you what, I'm so happy to see when you come up here and you guys do this. See, I'm the Simon. I'm going to be really mean, but I can't with this guy, okay? Because when someone starts to realize this and you go, wow, how come there's not an Agora Marketplace? All they need is they just can kind of, like Angel goes, what do you think Facebook was? What do you think eBay was? What do you think that we're doing in Craigslist? But you're thinking right, and I want to give you props for that. It's just that we kind of, beat you to it a little while ago, But good job, man.
Thank you so much.
Dude, he says that he's Simon, but he's Paula.
Paula.
You are Paula.
Is he drunk?
I'm just saying.
These seduce
You're
young
Paula.
men. All right.
Paula Abdul from
All right, John.
Saying. I don't know. I don't watch this show, but I've seen her.
Isn't she the one that picks up the... Yeah. You got to talk into the mic. You're missing all this golden stuff. All right, John is going to make a pitch here. His is the GMO party game. Explain. He's actually got prototypes already made.
Yes, I like functional prototypes.
I'm going to use this stand because, like I said, I've got a prototype here. So hi, I'm John Pawelko. I've been developing political cartoons for about 4 years now under my company Lampoon the System. This is my second PorcFest, and it's just unbelievable, so happy to be here. So tonight I'm pitching a party game called GMO. It's a futuristic kind of sci-fi world where you, the scientist slash promoter, are able to invent and market your ultimate GMO characters in a free market environment. So, quick demo of the cards here. Each GMO card has a title, an outrageous cartoon, some background, and some data categories that you use to compete against the other players. At a high level, I want to use the GMO topic, which most everybody is aware of and more people are concerned about across political spectrums, but also make it a mainstream game that everybody can like and play without being too preachy. So I'll be incorporating liberty themes, agorist themes, all around GMO, and again, targeted, hopefully mainstream play. People can learn about GMO, but not in an overbearing, preachy manner. So that's the kind of the holy grail I'm looking for, to get some acceptance, build awareness, and have some links in the game so you can learn more, what's real, what's made up. And so I'll just give you a couple of a few of the cards. So this first one here is a two-headed snake called a cobra. It provides women the support they expect and the self-defense they need. Second one should hit pretty close to home. It's called the Porcu-Gun. It's a GM porcupine that, yes, can shoot its quills. So it kind of wraps around your hand like a lightsaber on a Jedi. And, you know, if you thought backyard wrestling was popular in the South, wait till you see these Porcu-Gun fights on YouTube.
1 minute warning.
Okay, the third one is industrial hemp hop. It's hemp that grows the more socially acceptable hop bud. So it gets a little more acceptance. A second dimension of the game, which is a little more tied to the agorism, are the challenge cards. So this card has a bunch of data, you compete, but you can then debate other players on the merits of their organisms using all these categories. So cost, profit, risk. In this free market environment, in the future, where anything's possible, and you define what the value is, and you compete on your way down. And
time.
Thank you.
Stay for questions.
I actually, I really like this because I feel like in order to start promoting liberty and promoting, you know, voluntarism and GMO awareness, you have to make it fun. So it has to be something that people want to get involved in, they want to play with. And also, I'm a dork, so I like the trading card games, right? So my one thing is that when I look at the card, you've got a lot of larger words on them. So I would just say dumb it down a tiny bit because, you know, people, their attention span is not too high, but I give this a 4.
Thank you.
Okay. I really like this idea. The GMO problem is an issue that's really close to my heart, and I've totally been one of those overly preachy, annoying people. This is years ago, but yeah, and I recently went to the March Against Monsanto, my local March Against Monsanto, and there is such a push for there to be federal labeling. Well, the labeling would turn out like, oh, healthy GMOs, yay! So I don't think government is the solution in this, and I've always said, you know, education about this issue is so important. I love the organization. You have these cards all made up. You put a lot of effort into this, and yeah, it has to be through education and having fun too. To get such a serious topic out there and get people informed. And there's a lot of really good information on here too, very detailed. So I'm going to give it a 5.
Our first 5.
I'm all about changing culture. You know, having people play and get their mind right and going in the right directions. Games are a powerful way to do it. And we've been thinking about, you know, wow, I wish people would come up with some liberty games. They've all kinds of status games. I win, I killed, I shot, I took over, I own, I developed, I look how many slaves do you have on your plantation? I mean, you know. So So these kind of things are better, but the thing is that I'm wondering, I may have missed it, but I didn't hear how you're going to market it, how it's mass marketed. Is it something just for us, or is it something that they're going to want to get, and why would they want to get it?
Well, I do want to pitch
I mean, they're not going to be doing this at the public schools, you know what I mean?
Right. I've targeted a few publishers that have niche party games that I think might be up their alley. So, I mean, I've done most of the writing. I don't do the art, so I pay real artists to do that. I'm not done yet. I'm about 20% done with the art. You can see some of the cards are blank, but I'm probably going to, pound the pavement and find the right publishers. And if I can't, I'll probably, try to do it on my own, see what I can do.
Okay, I'm going to at least give it a 4. But if I saw a marketing thing in there of an idea how you're going to use it to penetrate not just the mind. A lot of times they don't go together. It's like a money thing. You can make money at it, but you're paddling crap and, bikinis and stuff, And then you have something that really changes the mind and sends it in a direction. And if you can combine those two, if you had that part in this presentation, this is what I need to do, the seed money to get, the whatever, then I'd been a 5.
Okay,
but
thank you.
4.
Okay, great.
All right, thank you so much. Next up is Leah. Yeah, take your cards. Those are cool cards, though. I have to say, if you guys like card games, I remember how big Magic was. Jeez. Leah, she is going to talk to you about the Traveling Bitcoin Institute.
So I'm a teacher, and how many people in the room have heard of Bitcoin? How many people would like to learn about it, would think about maybe owning it, but they don't feel like they understand it enough, they don't know how to buy it, they don't know how to feel safe, they don't know if somebody can hack it? Show of hands. How many people would pay someone small fee to teach you how to do it, and when you're done with your little lesson, you actually own Bitcoin when it's all said and done? Okay, so that was my situation. I wanted to buy some Bitcoins, and I had friends that wanted Bitcoins. None of us understood it. We're all on the internet, we're looking at videos, we're looking at this, we're looking at that. I have friends that I know for a fact have had Bitcoins ripped off, lost, stolen, gone, poof, into the internet, Ethernet, whatever, right? So it's like nobody felt comfortable. So I got on the little Facebook page that they have a consortium. It was so far over my head. It made it worse instead of better. I reached out to people that have been into Bitcoin from the beginning in New Hampshire, asked them, will you come to my house? Will you do like a little Tupperware party for Bitcoins at my house? Because my friends will pay you to come and teach us what to do. And unfortunately, they didn't want to, I couldn't find anybody to do it. And we ended up, in the end, it worked out. And I did find somebody to sit down with us and talk to us, and we all bought Bitcoin, and we felt comfortable, and we all own it, and nobody can steal it. So I'm not alone in that. I have a little note here from Jay Buzz, and she had the same thing happen to her. And she says she calls herself a techno-tard. She says, she might even be the last person on earth that will ever own a flip phone. And her situation was the same. She wanted to buy Bitcoin but didn't know how. And it's so overwhelming and there's too many things to look at. So she hired somebody for $25 and it worked.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
1 minute. So I say $25 per person, and you come to my house and I have 5 people. That person makes $125 under the table, no license, no fee, no taxes. You get paid in cash or Bitcoin, no overhead, no nothing. It's all good. And you teach people about Bitcoin, you spread the word, we take down the empire, and the geeks inherit the earth.
So what do you think about the basically Bitcoin parties, kind of like Tupperware parties?
Well, I like the concept of the geeks inheriting the earth. Can you stay up here, actually, Leah? Because I have a question. For this, is this something where you would start and you would start doing it yourself, and then you would like branch out and hire other people to have parties, like Avon or Mary Kay or Tupperware?
I can't do it at all. I need the service. Even though I already own it, I could never explain it to anybody so they could understand it. So the young man who taught us, I would get 4 more friends, and I have many more that would like to learn about this, to come to my house. He would come there, and they would pay him $25. And in an hour, it could be all done. And you know, those people that are now millionaires because they bought Bitcoin at 30 cents a piece, they could sell their own Bitcoin right there on the spot. So the transaction is in cash.
You know, I like the basic concept. What I dislike is, like, I feel like since you wouldn't be the one doing it, you wouldn't necessarily benefit from the prizes. So, I mean, I like the concept. I think it's a good concept. But also, when it comes to Bitcoin, a lot of people don't want, they don't want someone in their home. They don't want someone knowing where they live. I mean, the anonymity is a very important part of Bitcoin.
True. You could always meet at an assigned, you know.
Yeah,
actually,
that is
we
true.
did. We didn't meet at my house. We met at a place. We met at a cafe that had Wi-Fi.
I think I'm going to go with a 3 on this.
Okay, I kind of like the basic idea, but yeah, I will have to say, going to someone's house, or I've been to these kind of things before where, you know, my friend invites me over, oh, I'm just going to have a bunch of girls over, and it ends up being like this uncomfortable, someone's trying to sell you something. And I know that's not the same thing with Bitcoin, because I do think there needs to be a more simpler way to break it down to people who are confused about it, but that method I'm just not really sold on, I guess. I think there does need to be more of a way to kind of, you know, get the information out and simplify it for people, but I think it needs a little more development, and yeah, like Angel said, I'm not sure how you would benefit and how many people would be willing to join you in that already know a lot about Bitcoin. I'm going to have to give it a 2.
I like these ideas. I want to be encouraging because you're right, okay? I can't be Simon. I'll be Simon. Wait till there's a Simon worthy. I'll give you some Simon, okay? But you have such a good idea, because you're right. There is a service. I went through this. But what I did is I had the pleasure of being able, hey, who knows about this stuff wants to be interviewed? Well, then I asked all the same questions that you had. Walk me through. No, if you can't do it while I'm on the air with everybody listening to me do it, we're not doing it, okay? So, but for you, how would you turn this into a business? Because it's not something really you want to start. It's something you want to take advantage of. It's like you're encouraging somebody to do this.
It's something I'd like to see some geek out there.
You have a customer, not a competitor, okay?
Right.
So I understand it's a good idea, but I'm going to have to give it a 2, because it wasn't really a business that you're advocating as much as a service you wanted.
Thank you very
I want
much.
someone else to do it.
All right, talk to Leah about that. Thank you very much. Give her a hand.
Actually, can I take a moment and say that if there's someone out there right now that understands Bitcoin to the extent where they would feel comfortable doing this, I mean, it is a valid idea. I do think it's a very valid idea, and that a lot of people could benefit from it. But since Leah can't do it herself, you know, I think maybe, you know, or even just a YouTube video.
Well, I remember I used to do the gold buying parties back in the day, and they were very successful. We weren't the Tupperware pressure sales, you know? So I like the idea of a Bitcoin party, but I think it needs refining.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not a judge. Michael Aaron, here we go with the freedom of speech coach.
How many of you have a liberty message that you need to get out? Raise your hands. But you're too nervous to speak in front of a crowd like this. You want to be on Ernie's or Angel's radio show, but you're too nervous. You need me. You need the Liberty Speech Coach. I will help you. I will take your message. I will frame it for you. We will organize your speech. We will help you get over those ahs and ums in your speech. Maybe you want to make an Agorist pitch, and you're too nervous to do it. You're not organized. I will help you do it. It's your message, my coaching. Now, why should I be your coach? I have 13 years of public speaking experience. I have competed in over 60 speech contests, coming in first or second place over 85% of the time. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to organizing your words, your gestures, your eye contact with your audience, putting the pauses in the right place. I know how to do it, and we'll take your message to the next level and get your message out the way it will be the most effective for anyone to hear.
Thank you very much. Angel, what do you think?
Well, I think that you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of enthusiasm, and I like the fact that you have a lot of experience. My question is, because we're dealing with people that are from all over the country and all over the world, how are you going to interact with them? Are you going to Skype? Are you going to video chat? Are you going to make a YouTube video?
Definitely YouTube videos, definitely a website. I will be speaking at events like this, Liberty Forums. I will be speaking for free at various events, and I will give out speech hints, communication tips for people, and then of course the one-on-one coaching. I will charge people, and of course I'll take Bitcoins, FRNs, gold, silver, barter, whatever you want to barter for. Let's talk.
Yeah, like I said, I like the energy. I think there's a lot of merit to the idea because a lot of us have messages that we want to get out, and it's difficult to speak in front of people, and it's difficult to do radio interviews, and especially when you're doing like local things, right? And you're on your local radio station, and it's, you know, you've only got so much time to make the point. My concern is really just location-wise how much people are going to be able to get out of you know, the interviews with you or the one-on-one coaching. But I think I'll give it a 4.
Okay, I want to say I really admire your charisma. You have a lot of really high energy, and that's great. I guess the question is, I'm not seeing where the originality is so much, because I think there are a lot of people out there who already offer this service, and I think you may even be more efficient if you took it to the internet and you started making like your own YouTube videos and maybe, you know, giving people tips on how they can speak for themselves instead of speaking for them. And I know you said coaching was a part of that. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, I definitely would not be speaking for them.
Okay.
They would be doing the speaking themselves.
Okay,
I
that's
would
what
be
kind of
coaching
threw me
them on
off.
how to best get their own ideas out.
Okay, so yeah, I think sure there could be more people like that, because as technology kind of evolves and grows, you're going to have a wider audience that you can reach, and there's going to be different methods you can employ. So, I think it's overall a good idea. I think I'm going to give it a 3.
You know, I mean, you know, here comes the Simon, okay? You know, my thing is that, you know, I know a lot of people that need a speech coach, especially guys that sit up here with a pause for 30 seconds. But the thing is that I didn't hear a business plan. Why are you up here? I mean, you're advertising yourself, you know. I mean, hey, you need a speech guy. Here's a guy, go do this. But I didn't see a business plan. There was no marketing thing. There was no web page. A lot of the guys, they don't already have a web page. You know, this one guy, we should get this web page called whatever. I do that on the show. It's gone before the end of the show. I got to get it right there. Wait a minute, I just got it in the break, and it's mine. This is it, you know. So if you already going to have a plan, I need to know what it is and what it is to market it. And I saw a commercial, not a plan for a business, so I'm going to give it a 2.
All right, thank you very much. Next up, James Ray, please join us with distributed chemistry sets. Oh, someone's going to blow us up. Give him a clap. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome him on the stage.
I'm fortunate that Simon is as old as I am, because when I was young, and I'm a lot older than a lot of you, I actually got one of the last Gilbert chemistry sets that was ever made because of the lawyers that infest this country, and they've increasingly infested it. And they're trying to make life a risk-free proposition for us, as we all know, in various ways. Well, that chemistry set was really cool, and I did a lot of really cool things with it. There were a few dangerous chemicals involved in it, though, and so it would obviously be a PorcFest-only business. This is not going to be the most profitable business idea of the night. You know, it's going to be, it's a business to get these chemistry sets into the hands of the really cool parents and kids here. And so most of it would probably be a prepayment with Bitcoin thing, but we might want to make a few extra sets to sell here, and those would be for a profit. But really, we're mostly trying to just get the chemistry, the real science, back into kids' hands, where I was able to do experiments without any adult supervision or teachers around or things that would stop me from mixing the two experiments together or things like that. And I really learned to love science from that much more than from all the classes in school. So let's see if I'm missing anything, because I probably am. Oh, we have a lot of expertise here beyond chemistry. I mean, I would start it with chemistry set, but I don't really want it to have a leader. I want it to be kind of different projects with different leaders. The reason I'm scared of too much profit is that the lawyers and the thugs will attack if we actually start making money on this. And so it's going to be more for just getting, you know, kids like that kid in Florida who just got busted for doing chemistry on her high school and ended up getting kicked out of high school. You know, kids need non-neutered chemistry sets. Let me see. We have expertise, though, in the chemistry. Like, there's obviously a laser expert here. I'm sure somebody knows tissue. I'd be interested in learning about that for plants. Oops. Are you over? Did I kill it? I killed the mic. No, I didn't. Okay, it was just... All right. I don't want him to tase me, though, so I'm going to stop right here. How's that?
Check. Hey, there we go.
Okay, so I like the idea of making science fun again, but what happens is we're in a position now where we do see children who get arrested or expelled or suspended for doing science. But you know, it's very, very frustrating, but what I think is that you would have much more success with a YouTube video where they can see how it's done, and then if they want to do it themselves, then they go ahead and do it. It seems to me like this is such a limited market, and what we're trying to do is find something that's really going to help get word out and get liberty out and awareness out and information out. And you know, when it's a chemistry set for the kids here, I feel like it's not really quite enough, so I'm going to go with a 2.
Okay.
Yeah, while I think it would provide a good resource to the unschooling and homeschooling community, it's such a limited community, and you shouldn't be afraid to make it broader. But at the same time,
this would get attacked, believe me.
Well, yes, but the thing is, I don't think you even need to go to the extent of making a full chemistry set. I think you would be much better off making videos and having a more hands-off approach. This idea kind of seems like it lacks
videos don't do the
details.
same. I didn't have videos available as a kid, but videos don't do the same thing for me as actually doing something with my hands.
Yeah, and I understand. Yeah, and I get that. For kinesthetic learners, which I'm a kinesthetic learner, I have to be doing things to learn it. I think that is really important. But you also would have, I think, a broader reach if you did do videos, and then maybe you could, you know, sell the kit or something. But I'm just thinking this is kind of lacking details, and yeah, I'm gonna have to go with a 2.
Okay.
Seeing as how we're from the same generation, I understand. Let me tell you. Okay, I get a minute. Okay. Start the timer.
Timing, go. 1 minute ran.
I grow carbon nanotubes in a tube furnace in my barn to be able to make high-density energy nickel-iron batteries. And I'll tell you, the one thing I get most of my chemicals from Estonia. And the reason is because if you get anything now from here, you're a domestic terrorist. And if you just get the beaker that you're going to mix something to play with and you're 12 years old, you're a domestic terrorist, okay? I am so sick of all of this crap. Anybody even talk? The only reason I'm not giving you a 5 is because I didn't hear much of a business plan in there, okay? But you know, I did understand everything that you were saying. I understand the inspiration of just original discovery and how powerful it was that created the generation that you even have anything, you guys, because we're the ones that did all the crap that we're building on now. But there's such a few of us. There are so few of us. And there was a bunch of you. You need chemistry sets. So I'm going to give... So I would give you like a 3-point something, but he won't let me do points, so I'm gonna give you a 4.
Wow, thank you.
Next up, Melissa Johnson with Freedom Quilts. Melissa Johnson with Freedom Quilts. Here she comes. Look what she's wearing, a quilt. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Quilt, quilt, quilt. I just want to take everybody to remember that Robertson Roberts and Bitcoin Store. Go visit them. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Melissa Johnson.
Get a little closer to the mic, Melissa.
Okay. I'm trying to start a home business. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm recently divorced, single mom, and I unschool my children. And I'm trying to start this home business so that I can keep them home and out of public school so that they don't get corrupted by our, public school system. Basically, this is a small quilt. There's a machine out there that I want to get that will let me make really huge quilts, bed-sized quilts instead of baby quilts. And I can rent this machine out to other quilters, and it's like having rental income property for me. So if I can get this machine, which I'm almost there to affording this machine, then I can advertise with the local quilting guild, and the other ladies can come in and for $20 an hour, whatever, they can use my fancy machine, or I can also give them lessons and teach them how to use the machine for about the same cost. There's really no other competition in my area, so I would have a corner in the market, and it's a way that I could support my family and raise good little anarchists, and that's about it.
Thank you. Angel.
First off, I would like to thank you for unschooling your children. That's very, very important. And I like the concept of, raising more anarchists, and, I like the idea of you using this to make it so that you can, in fact, unschool your children and continue to do so. I guess my immediate concern is maybe I came in here with the wrong idea. I was thinking of something that not only is a business, but also promotes the liberty movement and promotes getting information out and waking people up to the movement. So maybe I'm looking for something fantastic and amazing that's not there. But so, I want you to be able to get, the equipment that you need so that you can continue to do what you do. I'm going to go with a 3.
Make a video about quilts.
Can I answer that at all, or? One of the things that I'm doing, Angel, is to incorporate a porcupine into my quilts.
Quiet down, please, in the back.
See if you can find the porcupine in this quilt.
Audience, show the audience too. Can you find the porcupine in the quilt? All right. All right, Megan, you're going to have to make a decision here. We're running low on time,
Okay.
so speed it up.
All right. I'm kind of seeing. I would like you to get the money to start the quilt thing, but I'd like to see more of an educational slant to it. I mean, maybe you could add lessons or something into your quilt since you're all about the unschooling, which I'm a huge fan of. But yeah, I think it needs a little more development, and I think you're concentrating too much on your local area and monopolizing that when you could reach out to a wider community by selling your quilts on Etsy or something like that. So I'm gonna have to go with the 2.
All right, judges, speed it up.
Sorry for my poor display, but I do plan on advertising in Etsy, and I also want to get with the Hempsel guy and get some of his nice hemp fabric and some natural hemp dyes.
I'm going to give you a 2, but it's not because I don't think it's a good idea or it's something that needs to be done. I think you're so limited by what they were talking about, the scope of your market. A quality, freedom-oriented, homeschooling mom that makes good anarchist, voluntarist quilts that are quality, that are available to us to get on eBay, at your website, or whatever. I heard none of that. I'm looking, I got 15 gazillion grandkids. I'll be buying your stuff all day long. From where? Where's the web page? Let's go. Waiting on you now. So I'm going to give you a 2 for that, but that doesn't mean there's not a market.
Thank you very much. Everybody, clap her off. Thank you very much. Come see her go buy a quilt. All right, let's go to Ron Helwig, the Virtual Agorist Business Incubator. Someone needs to bring me a drink.
I just had to do that.
Go ahead, start.
Okay, how many of you have jobs? Raise your hand. Well, stop it. That's so 20th century. We need to become entrepreneurs, innovators. So what I'm proposing is starting up a virtual agorist business incubator where those of you who don't know how to start your business and you need to get some funding, you can come to me and I can set you up with an asset listing on a Bitcoin-based stock exchange. I've got all of the encryption experience, so I can do it in such a way that if you want your business to remain anonymous, we can do that. And some of you out there, I know, are already investors in one that will remain unnamed. And then so it takes about 5 Bitcoins to get listed on this exchange. So that's one of the reasons why I could really use the money that I could win from this to allow for the first business or 2 to get listed on these exchanges to raise significant money for real capitalization. It's about time that the anarcho-capitalist movement actually became capitalists. So, and then, so that's the core start of the business. And then eventually we can expand to, we can hire people to help you with your marketing. We can help you put together your business plan. We can manage your assets on the exchanges. And we can grow the Agora. And, all of you can be investors in these businesses.
Thank you very much. Angel Clark, what do you think?
Now, this is actually something that I really like because it's about growing your business and helping other people grow theirs. It's about promoting liberty. It's about promoting agorism. And so I like the concept because it doesn't just help you, it helps everyone here, or everyone that has a business and doesn't know how to do certain things. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Thank you very much. Megan.
Yeah, I think agorists could use a lot more exposure and a lot more support behind them, and I do really like the idea. Is Ron Helwig your real name? Just wondering.
Yes.
It is? Okay. I think it would be a good way to get some startups that really have a lot of momentum and energy behind them, more exposure. So I'm going to go with a 4.
All right, Ernie.
I didn't hear a pitch. It was like I keep hearing commercials. They're not pitches. They're not business plans. They're not, where do I give the money for what do I get and how and we're gonna and the market says and the study and what. I understand the concept. I think it's a good idea. For Freedom's Phoenix in some way to get listed as somehow on a Bitcoin stock exchange kind of, sign me up. You know? How? And that's sign me up. That's a commercial. That's not a business for me to invest in. You know? How do I invest in a business? How do I get my return? Why would I do it? So, you know, so I'm going to give you a 3.
All right, thank you very much. Everybody give him a hand. All right, the next one, our next person is Geostash, talking about Geostash. Welcome to this guy to the stage. Here we go.
Deep in the darkness, hidden behind layers of encryption, is a land of virtual realm that enables freedom in the physical realm. It is called Geostash. Geostash is a website which allows vendors to sign up. If Silk Road is the Amazon of the darknets, then Geostash is the Craigslist. It's hyper-localized, which allows vendors to sign up for an account in exchange for a bond. They put up a bond so that if the buyers give them the money, it gives them some security that they're actually going to get the goods that they expect. There is escrow, just like on the Silk Road, which protects the buyers and the sellers. Now, what the vendors are going to do with the buyers is to place the item that the buyers want to buy in a geolocation, somewhere in the physical space. The location is not revealed until after the item has been planted. The seller recedes back into his Agorist hole and then sends the geolocational points, the GPS points, to the buyers, which they then use to go and locate the object and take it home, at which point they release the funds from escrow to the seller so that they can get paid and continue their business. This business will be marketed to the Bitcoin community because Bitcoin is the only form of payment that we will accept. We may expand to other cryptocurrencies, but right now Bitcoin is the only important one. So we're going to launch on the Bitcoin Talk Forum just like the Silk Road did, and from there we will make history, bringing the crypto space into the physical space. Thank you very much, PorcFest.
Thank you very much. So, Angel Clark, what do you think this way about passing stuff anonymously
Well,
to
I
strangers?
had a hard time understanding it, actually, so I want to make sure I grasp the basic concept. Bitcoin are put into escrow, you purchase a product, you put Bitcoin into escrow, and then the seller puts the product somewhere once they've received verification that the Bitcoin is actually in escrow, and then they'll release the location and the transaction is finished.
Yes, it is a very local thing, so it's just somewhere where you can drive to, drop something off, and then the buyer comes and picks it up. So like I said, it's like the Craigslist compared to the Amazon.
I like the concept of a Craigslist for Bitcoin. I do.
I think he means it's like an anonymous way so you don't have to say where your house is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I get that concept. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay, I like the mystique that you have going on. That's very interesting, and it is an interesting idea, but I guess I'm having a hard time finding out how it's much different than just regular drug dealing, but with Bitcoin.
It's because the sellers don't have to reveal their identity. When you meet a drug dealer, you're there. You can bust them if you're a cop. However, if you never
Unless
see
they,
the drug
drop
dealer
it
face to
somewhere
face,
and
then you can't bust the drug dealer.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not really sold on the idea, and comparing Craigslist to Amazon, Craigslist is kind of sketchy to me, like, personally, but I don't know. Like, I think it's a little too localized. Also, I think that it like the Silk Road, it could be broadened maybe a little bit more. So I'm gonna have to go with a 2.
I don't think she gets agorism, but that's just my opinion.
I think it's very cool, but I'll tell you what my problem is. When the seller picks it up, where's the verification that they release funds? How do they do? Is there a number they dial, or you rate it, and sketchy one says sketchy 2 stuff's really not sketchy or something? What?
So just like the Silk Road, it's going to have a rating system, not only for the sellers, but also for the buyers. If the buyers go through with the escrow and pay, then they get a positive history, and sellers are more likely to.
So there's going to be an account built up for these people.
Absolutely, yes. It's something that you want to establish long-term relationships with people, and these relationships are fostered by the rating system.
Okay, I say 3. I understand. If I'm going to be physically doing anything in a freedom, open kind of way, I don't have problems with Craigslist. And I like it to be anonymous, having some kind of delivery thing like this. It's just I'm still not figuring out how you can be secretive and still have security in the transaction, a physical thing.
Look,
All right.
Look at the Silk Road, but thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I think he should have got extra points just on presentation. I can't believe nobody else isn't talking about that. All right, our next contestant is Dobby Barker. Agorist Psychological Experiments.
Are we going? My name is Dobby Barker, but that's not terribly important. What agorism fundamentally is the willingness to do what it takes to manifest a free society, even if it's illegal, as long as it's ethical. Now, most agorists focus on commerce, and if you read about agorism, that tends to be the first step, but we've already proven commerce. You look out here, we have proof of concept. It's time for agorism to move forward beyond commerce. So, essentially what I want to do is, if you look at the last 30 years, nothing has changed our approach to authority more than the Stanford Prison Experiment and the Milgram Experiment. How many people know what those are? Excellent. So, the problem with those experiments is that they do not stand up to scientific rigor because they've never been repeated. And the reason that they've never been repeated is because after the conclusions were found, the state changed the ethical guidelines and prevented them from ever being repeated. So what I'm suggesting is that we need to perform criminal psychological experiments that study obedience to authority with the ethic of voluntarism, but not the ethics of the state. So, I want to do dozens of these. I want them to be on YouTube. I want them to be in the mainstream, and I want everyone to be commenting on them and discussing them and writing papers and books about them. But the first one that I want to do is I want to study how much police brutality can the average American witness before they're willing to intervene. Now, I think it's a lot. And if we've watched the Stanford Prison Experiment and we watched the Milgram Experiment, we might believe that people are willing to watch police murder people. Okay? So I have a couple of ideas on the ways that this can be done safely. Essentially, you need a Confederate subject, and you need a Confederate officer, and you need to stage an arrest amongst some people. My original, can I get a zap? Can you zap the taser for me? My original idea was that we would have a fake taser. We would pay an homage to the Milgram Experiment, and we would have the officer, in the most brutal way, tase the subject with a fake taser, but a real sound, and we would have one of our activists that knows what a taser feels like to show us. There's another possibility, and that is that we can bring the subject into a room with the officer. The officer can then walk out of the room, and they will see a surveillance video on the other side of the door of the officer brutalizing a subject. This will be a fake video, but all they have to do to intervene is open the door. So they never have to touch the officer, nobody has to be in any physical danger, but if they open the door, they've intervened. So I would like... essentially, I see this as having some of our celebrity activists involved. I'd like our cop blockers and our peaceful streets activists to be playing the Confederate subject because they know what it's like to confront a police officer, and so they can give us a realistic performance. But I would also like our conscientious objectors, our soldiers turned anarchists, to play the cops because they know what a drill sergeant acts like, and they can give us a realistic performance. So I also want to consult with our scientific community. For example, Dr. Stephanie Murphy from Free Aid and Dr. Michael Humer, who gave a speech on the psychology of authority yesterday. And then I want to repeat this experiment over and over and over and over again. And I want to create a sequel to things like Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. And I want to create franchises of things like Sovereign Living. And I want them to become part of the mainstream culture. So we're not just talking about 2 experiments. We're talking about 12 experiments. We're talking about 100 experiments so that we can show beyond a shadow of a doubt that power corrupts absolutely.
All right, Angel, what do you think about these psychological experiments getting funded?
I love this. This is amazing. I mean, seriously, because we say all these things and people just kind of look at us like, you know, oh, you know, you guys are just throwing things out and you're making too much of a big deal out of this. So the concept of some kind of proof that this happens, 5.
Yeah, the only way to test the validity of an ideology or an idea is to test it rigorously. And we haven't seen more tests of things like the Milgram experiment, the Stanford prison experiments, and we have these isolated cases that we can tell people about, but we don't have more to build on, and we really do need that. We need the science behind it. And yeah, 5. Love it.
I love it. I know exactly where this is going to go.
Come on, give me some Simon. Right
I want to, oh, you're getting some Simon. I'm sandwiching, man. I love it. I want to support you. Anything Davi Barca does, I want to be part of. I'm going to help. I'll be a subject. I'll be the cop. I'll be, you know, I don't care. You know, the thing is, I didn't hear a business plan. You know, where's the money going to this?
I'm consulting with our scientific community.
Is it making
You're the
YouTube?
money, I'm pitching you, man. Give me the money.
You know, I was going to do that anyway. You know, are we going for a profit business, or is it just a pitch to get money?
It's agorism,
5,
baby.
Davi got my money.
5. All right, first perfect score of the night.
Can I do a quick appendix? Since I'm already scored, can I just give a quick sort of closing statement? You are all already participating in a psychological experiment on authority. Perhaps you've seen these lovely badges from copblock.org. This is a fundraiser for CopBlock. These are based on the Keene Police badge. And right now, everybody knows nobody's a cop, and everybody knows if you are a cop, you're not speaking up. But when you go home, if you bought one of these badges, pay attention to the way your family and friends and relatives and strangers on the street react to this piece of aluminum.
Ladies and gentlemen, first perfect score of the night, Davi Barker. All right. We're going to go with Kelly.
The goal is to see if they can get Ernie's money.
That's it. Ernie's money. We're going to call the show Ernie's Money.
That's the goal, then Davi, okay.
All right, Kelly, you're up next with essential oil cigarettes.
All right, of course we have to follow that if we're going to be up here. But, yeah, all right. My idea is actually these e-cigarettes. You've seen them around. My husband quit smoking and started smoking e-cigarettes. What we'd like to do is take these and do both disposable and the refillable kinds. And I had to get drunk to do this in front of people. Just saying. I can't handle myself otherwise. I know! But oh wait.
You know, if that guy actually knew how to like talk in front of people, he would have known like how to use the microphone.
Sorry. She's right. I'm sorry. So these electronic cigarettes, what we'd like to do is use essential oils with them. So if you have anxiety, then you'll be like patchouli oil. I mean, you know, incorporate those things with that. And I think this has a broader market than just the Liberty folks. As far as we can fuck with the FDA as well as the ATF, both in one fell swoop. I have my daughter up here because she's the funny one. Like I said, have to drink and I suck at this. She's scared. But so if people are already doing these, okay, please give me the taser. Please, please. Thank you.
Oh, don't tase me, bro. Thank you for the presentation.
I am so mad at you, Mom.
Tase Angel.
You know, I don't want to let you guys go without, recognizing the idea of using vaporizing as a form of creating natural medicines.
Yeah.
The essential oils and doing that. I wish you would have given a better presentation, but the concept, I think there is an enormous future in the e-cigarettes and all the other medicines that can be delivered if we just allowed freedom to find them.
There really are. I mean, I had like some hash oil the other night, right, through an e-cigarette. I was like, you know what? I love this. We need to see this expanding. And I'm finding people that take, that use like medical marijuana that are getting marijuana oils, and it's cheaper and it's more efficient. And so, but I realize also there's the holistic aspect, but it is a good concept that it's worth branching out into.
All right. Calvin, you're up with Homegrown Technologies. You're going to pay attention. He wears a suit. This is the way you pitch.
It's very well dressed.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Calvin, and my future Agorist business is called Homegrown Technologies. In the mid-19th century, California experienced the gold rush. Now we're in the midst of the green rush. People who wear costumes and badges are not kidnapping people as much as they used to, depending on which imaginary border we're talking about. One big caveat is that people who are growing marijuana have to keep their plant count generally small. They got to keep it indoors. And this is the area that Homegrown Technologies wishes to capture. I wish to be a leader in the high-tech, user-friendly indoor plant equipment. Specifically, I'm looking to take the best parts of microcontrollers and sensors and put together a set it and forget it system where a lot of the guesswork in marijuana growing can be taken out. For instance, I can design a system that'll sense the pH of the water or the soil that you're going to use, the soil moisture levels, humidity temperature, and the carbon dioxide levels. And we're going to set ranges on these, and when one of the values falls outside of the range, my controller is going to be hooked up to a piece of equipment and adjusted right there on the spot. The room is going to be at optimal conditions at all times, whether you're there or not. In fact, my system has a webcam so that you can take out your smartphone to take a peek at your grow room when you're at PorcFest. You'll be given graphical data sheet emails. So say you have your strawberry kush and you want it to turn purple. And like we all know, when you want to turn strawberry kush purple, you need to drop the temperature 25 degrees in the last 3 weeks of the life cycle. So you can get these data sheet readouts and see that nighttime temperatures are what you want it to do. Also, say it hits an alert range, like your air conditioner breaks. All of a sudden, your grow room is at 100 degrees. Once it crosses the threshold, you'll be getting a text alert telling you, hey, something's out of whack. Get there right now. I'm also introducing a first-of-its-kind invention. Anybody who's ever grown knows that at the end of the growing part, there's the curing phase. I've automated that, and I'm calling it the auto cure. And if you're not familiar with curing, it's the final stage of the drying process in which you even out the moisture and you bring out the strong, deep smell of whatever flavor you grew. And if you do it effectively, you have a smooth, nice tasting smoke. This last stage, the curing, separates the Mary Jane boys from the Mary Jane men. And that's how you know you're smoking good, well-grown weed.
1 minute warning.
Sensors. 1 minute warning. The big barrier to entry is the plastic pieces, and I'm going to use a 3D printer so I can only print the plastic enclosures one at a time. It's cheap, it's effective. I don't need to order 50,000 from China. I'm going to sell it online, and I'm going to accept Bitcoin. To be able to do something and give someone a way to make money without taxes, regulations, to work on their own terms, to not have to be berated by a boss that they don't want, and to give them a little more freedom, I think that's special, and I think that's something worthwhile. Thank you.
And time. Well done. Thank you, Calvin. Angel, take it away.
You know, I like this basic concept quite a bit, actually. A lot of people are starting to get into growing as a business, so making it easier for them, taking out the guesswork, putting in things so that they can get notifications when something's going wrong. I think that's a really, really good idea. I like how you gave Ernie the business pitch that he wanted. I like the fact you're using 3D printing, so I'm going to go with a 5.
Yeah, you have a lot of expertise on this subject. You gave a really great pitch. And you're looking to the future, too. I think the laws on medical marijuana are changing drastically throughout all of the states. So, yeah, I mean, you're looking to the future with this. I guess the only thing I'm concerned about is if you take into account this whole NSA snooping thing with the app, if you're looking at pictures of your weed plant, depending on the location and stuff. So that, you know, I'm not super worried about that. I'm going to go 4.
4. Ernie?
I just have one question. What's your cost, hard cost of the unit, and what are you planning on selling it for?
I didn't get into it. I ran out of time, but it's a tiered system, and someone might spend. I've been consulting on this, and I've done grow rooms for $10,000, and I've done $250,000 grow rooms. And I can design any grow room you want for whatever.
For the basic control unit. The control
$2,000.
So I get base $2,000 and I start scaling up from that.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, and I didn't get to mention it. I'll be doing consulting so that I'll get them over the humps.
So you'd be wearing that black mask that guy had?
No, they get to see this beautiful mug.
So I'm going to go with I'm going to go with a 4, but I'm really, you know, give me something to invest in, you know, I'm all over it.
Because I'm using a 3D printer, if I can get someone who can do coding and keep it all in-house, I'm looking at like a $10,000 to $15,000 startup cost, with the marginal cost being in the hundreds of dollars for each unit.
Okay, I hope you win something here so far, unless somebody else is better.
You can change it to a 5, I'll let you.
I know, I'm going to give you a 4.
All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I have not seen her, but is Jillian here from Stateless Sweets? Jillian, where are you? Going once. Going twice. Jillian. Got Jillian, all right, going. All right, let's go to Charles. FOIA the government, this is called.
I'm Charles Pax, Brooklyn, New York, and I want you to help me FOIL the government. That's FOIAL, the Freedom of Information Act library. So basically, who out there has interacted with the government through the Freedom of Information Act and had a great time? Nobody. If you've had a bad time, make some noise. Okay, I want to help you. So as you may know, if you've done it for the first time, it can be really daunting because you don't know who you need to contact, you don't know how to contact them. And then once you finally do all of that, you're maybe rejected or it's tough to get the information out of them. And then even if you're successful, what do you do with that? How do you share it with other people and how do they benefit? So what I propose is a service where you just go to FOIAL.com and just fill out the form, and there's a wizard or questionnaire that helps you select the department that is best suited for providing your information. And just through this one form, we take care of the rest. We will send it to them, we'll know how to contact them, and advocate for you a little bit. And hopefully when that information comes back, we digitize it, put it online for other people to benefit from. Now there's a few ways of, well, how do you make money doing this? So firstly, if all the automated parts are basically free, so you would come, fill it out, we submit your request on your behalf, so it's signed with your name, and for that it's free. When the information comes back, if you want to upload it, that's free as well. If it's maybe something about your neighborhood or your private life, maybe you want to keep that private, and I think that's a reasonable place to charge a fee, since the community is not benefiting from that. Another place is dealing with rejections or any area where you require human contact. We can make money with services doing that. If you want to submit anonymously, instead of your name being on the request, we can put our name on the request. That could also be a paid service. Also, for a lot of FOIAL, FOIA requests, it costs money to get that data, and it's expensive. So integrated with this, we could have a crowdfunding thing so people who are looking for the similar information can support each other and get it from the government. Now, all I need for this is, the funding's essentially there. I'm looking for someone who's passionate and a competent web developer to come talk to me. I'm in campsite 115. I'm the guy with the 3D printer giving out free beer mustaches. If you got one of those, scream! Yes! Okay, and I'll open the floor to questions.
Angel?
The thing that concerns me here, I know that there are already companies that will help you to do a FOIA, but what concerns me is the fact that if someone needs help with it and they ask you for help, if they want to keep that private, you're charging them. I don't like that basic concept.
Well, so the idea there is if you submit one yourself, that's public, right? So that's public, and providing that anonymity is a service. If you want to do it anonymously without charging, maybe you could get a friend to do it or something like that. But this is to encourage you to share that information with other people.
I mean, so I know some really private people. I like the concept, but I'm going to go with the 3.
And we accept Bitcoin.
All right, 3. Go ahead. Megan?
Yeah, I like the idea of kind of being able to undercut, maybe what the government would charge to get access to that information. But privacy is a huge issue with me too. And I mean, like I said, I like the idea of building a database, but I'm gonna have to go with like a 3.
3? And Ernie?
I'm going to give you a 4, but I want to tell you why.
Thank you for having the courage.
Because I'm better looking than these guys. No. No. We know that's not true. The reason is because if I want somebody to do a service for me, and they're going to do it for free, as long as they can share the information, cool. If they're going to do it and I want it just be my secretary, then I don't think it's unreasonable to expect a fee for that. So I'm kind of leaning towards that way. But my thing is I see what I think it was what you didn't sell that this crowd would have really embraced, and I don't know if you guys picked up on it. It's crowdsourcing for fighting the government to get your information. And I go, well, hell, you should have just said that. 4.
Thank you very much. Site 115, 3D printer. Good night.
Go get a mustache. All right. Kevin Ennis, Contagious Activism.
So who's enjoying PorcFest this time around? Yeah! So how many people out there, this is their second or more they've been to, right? How many of you have been instrumental in bringing somebody else to this event? A bunch of you? I bet we could do an even better job, right? We can be sparks to ignite the fires of freedom in our community. And one way to do it is to become an event coordinator. This is an event coordinator business to train people to be better activists or to, as we diversify, we're going to have more and more different interests, things that appeal to us, things that we choose to do to bring forward agorism, to bring forward this liberty and freedom movement. So this is a process of having low cost, off the grid events, and hey, we can keep this down. $50 for, who would be interested in coming to an event for $50 that includes food with a bunch of people that you'd really like to hang with? A few, right? Hey, with 30 people, 3 people organizing it, you can have $500 each every single weekend that you organize an event. That's it.
All right, what do you think about his organizing little liberty events all over the country?
I really like the idea of increasing the number of events that we have around the country, because I mean that's something I think we all really need to work on. We need to start getting out there and reaching people. But my concern, my one big concern is, how are you going to reach people all over the country to teach them and how to do the organization?
I show up in person at the time close to the event, and before that, all the rest is communication online using Skype, and yeah, so there's lots of
you would show up in person to the event?
Yes, I'm already traveling around the country doing things like this.
Okay, because I was going to say the travel costs would really add up with that. All right, so I'll give it a 4.
Yeah, I think the more people that come around to these ideas, we need more different approaches to appeal to those people. So I think there's a lot of people already very active in that sector of things, but I think we do need even more competition with it. So I think it's a great idea. I go to 4.
I didn't see a business plan. 3.
$30 per 30 people, $50
and
each.
taser.
3.
I already said it. You missed it, Ernie.
3.
Ernie?
3. No.
All right. Thank you very much, Kevin. Next up, John Jones, Rocky Mountain Miners. John Jones. Rocky Mountain Miners.
Hello, my name is John Jones. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Rocky Mountain Miners, a limited liability company. And what we're doing is we're building Bitcoin mining computers that are automated so that non-geeks, people who aren't geeks like myself and my partner, can get into Bitcoin mining. We want to make it accessible and make it easy because it's a big barrier to entry for the mining space. People can buy Bitcoins easily now. That's one way to acquire Bitcoins. But a really important way is the mining part of it. And the Bitcoin network, and we actually work with all the cryptocurrencies, including Litecoin and Feathercoin and the dozens of other cryptocurrencies that have popped up. We built a miner that makes it easy for people to mine all of those. One day you can make twice as much money mining Feathercoin over Bitcoin. So that's what we do. And to answer Ernie's question up front about what I plan to do if I win, I'm going to use, and I hope I get the Bitcoin prize, I need an advertising budget. Because we're incorporated, we're an incorporated company, we exist under the laws of the state of Colorado, and we already have met orders, and there's definitely demand out there for this sort of product. People have told me all the time, when I'm pitching the product, I tried to mine Bitcoin, I have it running on my CPU back home, which is a really inefficient way to do it. So we want to make it, we build, and we have different price points as well. So we plan on having a miner that's priced at $1,000, which would incorporate this Raspberry Pi open source Linux-based computer, and it's incredibly energy efficient. And we think at Rocky Mountain Miners, we think the future of Bitcoin mining and cryptocurrency mining in general is harnessing solar and hydroelectricity, these free sources of electricity, because then at that point you're really turning sun energy into money, which is really neat. And another way to think about this is when you're mining cryptocurrency, it's almost like an Easter egg hunt. And the only way you can play in it is if you have a computer that you can lend to the network. So we want to make it accessible for more people to join the Easter egg hunt, acquire this currency, and strengthen the cryptocurrency economy. So that's my pitch.
Thank you very much, John Jones. Angel, what do you think?
So were you saying that you're incorporating like solar panels into the mining technology?
So that's our plan, is to we have a miner running here. This is running on a system at home,
Yeah.
and this is really efficient. So it would be well suited for solar panel mining. Yes.
Okay, I love this concept. It needs to be, I can't figure out how to mine Bitcoin, so I mean, people need it. I'm going with a 5.
Yeah, I really like how you are incorporating the alternative energy as a source of energy for the device. And I think $1,000, I mean, that sounds like a pretty fair price. From what I understand, some of the mining software can be a lot more expensive than that. So there needs to be more competition so people can get in and mine. I'm going to go with a strong 4.
Hey, I got a couple questions. One, how much are we talking about for the unit, the first starter, got your Raspberry doing kind of stuff? What kind of cost, and what can I expect in mining over a period of a month, and how much electricity is it going to need?
So I'll answer the how much can I earn in a month question first. I can't tell exactly, and that's part of the speculative venture of mining, because people are piling computing equipment on right now, and it's off the charts. They're saying that the last Bitcoin will be mined like 80 years earlier than they expected because the amount of computing power is so much. So it's a speculative venture. It's just like gold mining. So you have to do the math on it per the unit. This one would get about 1 gigahash for about $1,000, and it would be very energy efficient. So we would expect this to be a profitable device for at least 2 years. But that's totally, we can't guarantee that.
Is it parallel? I mean, is it expandable? Can I add more capacity to it?
Yes, absolutely.
So a lot less than $1,000 to double it.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Instead of it being $1,000, to double it, it would be $1,200, $1,500.
To double it, you'd probably be looking at like $1,800, because
Okay.
the chips themselves, and hopefully it becomes cheaper to expand soon.
All right, and it can operate on solar power.
Yes.
Okay, one panel can run what you got.
Well, no. So, depending what size panel.
See, I need more details. I'm going to give you a 4 because I'm very interested. I mean, I'm interested enough. I hope you win something and give me. I'd like to talk about doing it, but I didn't get enough details for you to sell me.
Okay.
Yeah, one more question. Yeah, would that technology be incorporated with the device, or would it be like additional, like the solar panels, is that included with the mining equipment? No, okay, so, okay.
That's just a potential way to power it.
Okay, thank you very much. That's time.
Thanks.
All right, Joby Weeks, wiping out global malnutrition. Joby, there he is. Wow. Okay, here we go.
Oh man. Well, the hash oil electronic cigarette, as you guys know.
Put it closer to your mouth.
Colorado.
Put your mic up to your mouth.
Mic's up to my mouth. So I'm not going to pitch the electronic cigarette hash oil thing. That's only for Colorado people. So come to Colorado if you'd like to partake this winter. We got great slopes for snowboarding. What I was going to talk about is kind of a toss-up. Jordan Page and I were sitting in the back, and he wanted me to pitch the politician blow-up dolls. Because if they're going to fuck us, we might get to fuck them back, right? I mean, Dick Cheney ones are freaking selling hot. Iraq is importing them by the pallet. No, what I really wanted to talk about was wiping out global malnutrition. That's been a project of mine. It's close to my heart. About 15 million children. So I know about 14,000 kids a day, about 5 to 15 million die each year from malnutrition. And so what's cool about our bodies is every 7 years we get a new body. Your body's constantly replicated. My grandfather's 85 years old, but his body is only 7 years old. And that's interesting when you're thinking about diabetes and arthritis and allergies and asthma and cancer, is because, for instance, if you have a pancreas that's not producing insulin, if you give your body the proper materials needed to replicate a new pancreas, all of a sudden, 6 months later, your body's got a new pancreas making insulin, your diabetes is gone. How many of us have friends and loved ones that are dealing with these health challenges, right? So what we decided to do is get together with some scientists. We got a business plan, Ernie, just to let you know. We're kind of copying how Tom's Shoes runs their market. instead of buying shoes from Reebok and Nike, you buy a pair of shoes from Tom's because they donate a pair of shoes to an orphan so that the child can go to school. So you vote with your wallet and stop doing business with people that have slave labor and start doing business with companies that are doing good for the world. So that's the business plan. What we've done is we've created a product. My uncle's a doctor. He just had his medical license pulled because he cures too much cancer. He was the physician of the year, top doctor in America, just had his medical license pulled. If you ever heard of that movie Brzezinski, that's what my uncle is going through right now, Dr. Brad Weeks. So you can look him up sometime. We created a powder that's got all the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, glyconutrients, phytosterols, everything you need to replicate a new body. Anytime you buy this powder in the first world countries, Canada, Australia, America, and so forth, we donate that same amount of product to an orphan fighting malnutrition in the third world countries. Although we have some projects here in the U.S., we're trying to really help kids all over the world. Thus far, we've given away over 40 million servings to more than 250,000 children in 80 countries. So it's an awesome project I'm going on. I'm trying to expand my markets, find charities that are interested in financing their projects, helping people out in the field. So, you know, that's the idea. Is,
1 minute warning.
1 minute warning is here. So that's my project. That's my business plan. Donations through consumption. Our charity isn't asking for money. We just want you to take care of yourself. And by taking care of yourself, you're going to take care of the life of someone that's literally at risk. And a lot of people are already taking vitamins and minerals, but they're made in chemical plants out of rocks and petroleum and coal tar. They're synthetic. They're not made out of real food from real plants. And that's the goal, is to get people to switch from the synthetic, to eating food made from real plants. So that's the pitch, basically.
All right, Angel, what do you think?
And I was serious about the blow-up political dolls.
Yeah, I like the blow-up political dolls also, but I've dealt with a lot of illness in my life, and so I like this concept, and I really like the donation aspect of it too. I think that's very important. I think a lot of times we kind of skim over that. I'm really into the concept of personal charity instead of giving things to people by threat of force through the government. So I'm going to go with a 4.
Yeah, I really think we need more alternatives for taking care of our health and expanding that too. And Tom's is a company that I really admire with how you can buy shoes and then they donate to something else. So you're helping a lot of people. I think it would be kind of interesting if you could make that localized too, like, or you could choose who you send it to, because there's a lot of people in this country that are poor and could benefit from a supplement like that. So yeah, I would go with a 4.
Ernie?
I'm going to give Joby a 5, and I'll tell you why. Because he's already done it. You know, I mean, this is, you know, how many millions? I mean, you know, how many millions? He's already done it, so I give him a 5. I would, you know, a business pitch for something for us to invest in is not just for ourselves, but to expand. I mean, but you already done it, so 5.
Well, we're publicly traded, so you can buy our stock if you want.
All right.
All right, here we go. The next one should be fun. Ingrid Dean. Business name is Chickens. Ingrid, where are you at? Ingrid Dean. Here she comes. All right. Brought the chickens with her. Okay. Five. All right, time is starting. Go ahead, Ingrid.
Hey y'all, my name's Ingrid. I'm gonna cut straight to the chase. I want to start an Agorist poultry business.
Ingrid, put the mic near your mouth. No one can hear you.
Hey y'all, my name's Ingrid. I'm going to cut straight to the chase. I want to start a poultry Agorist business, and you know that means no inspection, no license, no tax exempt status, no taxes, none of that bullshit. You know, I'm not going to seek permission from the state. I'm not going to be giving money to the state. And you might be asking, you know, how the hell is this possible? Well, if you raise less than 20,000 chickens in my state, you don't need a license. You don't need to have the fucking agents on your property. You know, it's just you. You don't need any of that bullshit. So, and Taryn told me, make this entertaining. He was like, get some chickens, but I don't have no money. I don't have no chickens. So I got this fake chicken. so give it up.
Crowd likes it. The crowd likes it.
Okay, but let me get down to business. So in Maryland, so I have access to 18 acres, which is in farm territory. I have access to lumber to build the coops. Yeah, fucking chickens. So I have land, I can build the coops, so I have money for that. The things I need are, I need money to buy starter chickens, the feed, and the heater, and encumbered, like less than $1,000, and I can get this business started. So next year at PorcFest, I can have some frozen chickens, I can bring them here, I can sell it, so you don't want me to be like, next year being like, where's my dragons, or where's my chickens? So please, I need the money, so thank you.
All right. Says for $1,000 she can start her chicken business. She's got everything else. There you go.
So,
Angel Clark, what do you think?
Well, my one question is, so when not at PorcFest, are you going to sell these locally?
Yes.
And we're talking, you know, you're going to make sure that they're fed the right
Yes.
food and all that jazz?
Yes. I'm going to be feeding the chickens, no dead chickens.
Okay. All right. And also, I have to add that she's actually the first person that listened when Taryn said make it entertaining. So I'm giving her a 5.
Yeah, I have to say I love the chicken setup. It's great, and I really like the potential for this to be able to, avoid all of the taxation and all of the crap that goes along with that, and really make these healthy chickens accessible to people in lower socioeconomic status. So, yeah, that's great. I give it a 5.
2 5s.
Thank you.
5. This, I'll tell you why. Amongst all the entertainment and so on, is that she had a plan. She knew what she wanted to do, where she was going to do it. She checked on how to do it. She's going to do it. She knows that she needs to do it. She's asking for the stuff to do it, and we're going to get some benefit at the end of her doing it. So I'm like, 5.
Perfect score. Well done. Thank you very much. Next person.
Amongst all the distraction.
Well done. Well done. And the last of the night, Mr. John Bush with Sustainable Living, or I'm not sure what. Here we go.
You're listening to the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Online at thelibertybeat.com. John Bush here with your Liberty Beat for June 6, 2013. Gold open today at $1,405, silver at $22.63, and Bitcoin is trading at $120. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from Tomorrow's Meals Today, South Austin Market Days every Saturday from 3 to 7 p.m. at 10106 Manchac Road. Information at tomorrowsmealstoday.com. And from Capital City Automotive, honest, reliable auto care for vehicles, foreign and domestic. Online at capitalcityautooaustin.com.
All right, cut
and
it.
Now
That wasn't supposed to play right when I came up, so I decided to just roll with it, but... So my Agorist business, which is actually an Agorist business, it's not an LLC or publicly traded, it's an Agorist business. It's called the Liberty Beat. It's your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Tell me if you've heard the Liberty Beat out there in the audience. Give it up. The Liberty Beat plays every day on LRN.FM and the pirate stations associated. Also plays on 90.1 FM in Austin, Texas. I've already been doing the Liberty Beat for quite some time now, going on a year. It plays every single day. There's 6 news stories that we cover. We broke the Prism story. We break a lot of news before Alex Jones breaks the news, because he also has a show there on 90.1. We break news before the local media breaks the news. And we also have activist updates. Like every time Antonio Beeler gets arrested, you'll hear it first on the Liberty Beat. We just recently launched a website. It's a written version of all the stories at thelibertybeat.com. Some of the stories get thousands of views. We broke the story when Adam Kokesh was arrested there in Philadelphia most recently. So one of the things that I think sets this apart, not only is it already in operation and it's already monetized, but we have people that are working for us at the Liberty Beat. Some of these are agorist individuals that are getting paid $15 a day to write a couple stories for me. I want to increase that. The money that I make from this, if I win from the lovely judges here, will go to supply these activists with more money so they can help expand the Liberty Beat. We're going to start mixing in a sovereign living tip of the week to play on the Liberty Beat during the show. So I think it's absolutely important that the activist movement have a news source that's short and consumable, 5 minutes. I like to spend my time actually building things and doing things, not listening to the news. So it's great to get the news in a short, consumable manner. We just launched this website at thelibertybeat.com that has all the stories. The show is monetized. My car broke down. I took it to the body shop, Capital City Automotive, and I bartered for Liberty Beat sponsorships to fix the car so I can continue to take my family around. Additionally, we have a barter with the local farmers market where we get $200 worth of vegetables every month. This helps to feed my children's belly. This is an example of agorism in action, not asking permission, unlicensed, zero taxes, growing more agorists, growing the agorist movement, and helping to benefit my life, not using Federal Reserves or nothing. So with the money that I can make from this, I'm going to use it to bring on another writer, to bring on a marketing department, and to help expand the Liberty Beat, and to grow the people that can further agorism through the Liberty Beat. So I hope you guys support the Liberty Beat. Check it out at thelibertybeat.com. You can hear it tomorrow morning as I produce the Rise Up radio show live. And it plays again in Austin, reaching tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of people. I need these resources in order, again, to hire these new reporters. The Liberty Beat's already monetized, about $500 a month right now. With a little bit of extra support, I can bring in $2,000 a month. Once I fill all the advertising slots, I'll double them, bring in $4,000, all the while hiring more people and expanding the counter economy.
1 minute warning.
The Liberty Beat, peace and freedom, support the agorist market. Genuine agorism, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Angel Clark.
Well, I actually hear the Liberty Beat before my show most days, so it's like the news break that's during my show. And John talks the talk and walks the walk. He lives the life, and the fact that he's going to be bringing more people into the business and expanding it and getting more agorist news out there, I'm going with a 5.
All right, John has the Z5.
Yeah, I really admire your motivation, and yeah, there's already a lot of sources of news that have kind of little blips, and you do need that kind of format to get that information out, and I think there needs to be more of that, so I'm going to go with a strong 4.
All right, 4.
I would have given you a 4.8, but since I'm not allowed, I'll give you a 5, but I tell you, you would have got a solid 5 if you would have showed me the iPad.
Yeah, well, all right, so scores 14. Thank you, John Bush.
TheLibertyBeat.com. Check me out in the LRA Media Room tomorrow at 8 a.m. to see it recorded live.
All right, so John, don't go anywhere. Stay up on the stage. All right, the highest scores of the night. Dobby Barker, step up. Ingrid and John Bush, you were the leaders at 15, 15, and 14. We had a lot of 13s, but you were the top 3. The judges only do so much on this show. The audience is going to decide who gets the top prize, the second prize, and the third prize. Where is the Ingrid chicken lady? Does she not want her money? There she comes. All right. We're going to do this old school. I'm going to walk behind someone. When I raise my hand, you yell if you like the idea. The person that gets the most noise gets the gold. Let me remind you, before you go, this prize of the Liberty Dollar, a very, very illegal coin, was given to us by our fine friend Tim Fry at Robertson Roberts. If you're going to buy gold or silver, you need to support someone that supports this community. You understand? Yeah? Next time you buy your silver, see Megan here. She'll talk to you. Tim is the only guy I buy from, and I believe Ernie buys from with his dime, right? That's where you get your dimes from? Yeah. Tim's one of us. He's been here. So don't forget him. So let's find out. We're going to start with the gold prize first. Who's going to make the biggest noise? Well, Ingrid and her chicken. John Bush. Thank you. Dobby Barker. I think we have clear winners. Step on over. Dobby Barker, tell us how you're going to spend it.
I'm going to prove that power corrupts absolutely.
All right, thank you very much. The next one will be presented by Eric. Eric, you want to step up? Our friend Eric Voorhees. If you want to know something about Bitcoin, please talk to him. I'm going to go back through these two. We're going to yell again. Eric is going to present $1,000 in Bitcoins given to us by our fine friends over at bitcoinstore.com. Please remember, you have all these awesome Bitcoins, and sometimes it's just really nice to be able to buy stuff easily. So you can go and buy any kind of electronic you can think of for the same price you get over at Amazon with a 0% markup. Is there anything you want to say that I missed?
I think everyone's been talking about Bitcoin quite enough, so I'll just let it keep going.
The Bitcoin store. Good?
Yeah, all good.
All right, I got everything. Here we go. For number 2, $1,000 in Bitcoins. Ingrid? Or John Bush? All right, John Bush. Go ahead, and right there is the electronic on his phone, the big prize. $1,000 in Bitcoins going through. Why that's going on? The money is to do with what you'll please. What are you going to do with $1,000?
$1,000 will go to directly go for my reporters and for someone to help with marketing. So the money's not going to go to benefit myself. It's going to go to spread agorism to other individuals so they can live off the white market and participate in black and gray markets. Fuck the state!
And if you've seen these lovely things, I can barely pick them up, 10-ounce bars each, 20 ounces of silver, goes to our good luck with your chickens, Miss Ingrid. And what would you like? We expect some eggs for that. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our competition. Please talk to these wonderful people that are starting businesses. Maybe even though you might not have won, you might have caught the ear of an investor. Good luck. Enjoy PorcFest.
Lay your head down here beside me. The rain can't reach us here. It's safe and dry. The silence is a sea.